Hi guys, so on the 1st of January 2021 I shared a video on here where I actually told you what the requirements was, the COVID-19 requirements for travelers traveling to Canada from Nigeria or from pretty much anywhere else, right? And in that video I shared with you that you had to do a COVID test set 2 hours before your flight, you had to register on the ArriveCan app, all that I shared with you. This video is going to be an addition to that video, right? So all those requirements that I shared in that video are still valid, but there are now additional requirements that if you're planning to travel to Canada, you need to follow these requirements. They are so strict now, guys. I feel like if you're not rich, if you don't have money, you have no business traveling. Like, do you guys agree with me? Drop a comment in the comment section below so I know what your sentiments are around traveling during this pandemic right now. I have my phone here and I'm going to be going through what these additional travel requirements are. It says here, as of February 22nd, 2021, all air travelers, with some exceptions, will be required to take a COVID-19 test when they arrive in Canada before exiting the airport, and another towards the end of their 14-day quarantine period. What does this mean? It means that they have to do a COVID test at the airport. Like, once you land, you can't leave the airport without doing this COVID test. So that is a new requirement. Second part, you'll be required to reserve prior to departure to Canada a 3-night stay in a government authorized hotel. What does this mean? It means before you even leave wherever you're going to Canada, before you get on the plane, you now have to actually book a hotel stay at a government approved facility, which is going to be a hotel. And you basically need to quarantine in a hotel for 3 days on arrival, and this is mandatory. Finally, it says you'll be required to stay at their reserved hotel for up to 3 nights at their own cost while they await the result of their arrival tests. What does this mean? It means that you're gonna have to stay at this hotel, this government approved hotel, until you get your results. So I believe if you get your result on the first night, second night, you can leave whenever, but until you get your results, you basically have to stay there. They then go along to provide the list of approved hotels. I'm going to put that link down below so you guys can see what those hotels are. It says the hotels will be available online from February 18th, which is already passed, so it should be live right now. It states travelers must reserve their accommodation prior to departure to Canada and pay for the costs. Cost of these hotels may vary slightly depending on location, so it might be, it might vary. It then tells us what does this price include, so you know that if I go there, do I have to go and buy food? It states clearly the price will include the cost associated with the room, food, cleaning, infection prevention and control measures, security and transportation. It then goes to say that travelers must present proof of having reserved and prepaid for their accommodation through ArriveCan. So that's the app that you have to put information on, your travel information, your COVID information. You have to put everything here. So you have to put that information into this app. I think it's a web app, and it's also an app, like an iOS, Android app too, so you can put your information in there. It then goes on to say that travelers who received a negative test result from the test upon arrival at the airport in Canada and have a suitable quarantine plan will be able to leave the hotel, proceed to complete their 14-day quarantine at their planned quarantine location. So what it's saying here is that once you land in Canada and you're staying at this hotel, you've done the test, you're staying at the hotel, this government approved hotel, if it turns out you're negative, you're not allowed to leave the hotel and go and complete your 14-day quarantine in your own home, as long as you have a suitable quarantine plan. This means that you're obviously, in your statement on the ArriveCan app, you have to tell them where you plan to isolate for 14 days. And if they don't think that plan is suitable, they might keep you behind. That's pretty much what they're saying here. Travelers who need to use public transportation or have an onward domestic flight to reach their final destination and planned quarantine location can do so after they receive a negative result from the test they took when they arrived in Canada. So it's just saying that if, for example, you arrived in Montreal or Toronto and you have to drive to Montreal or drive to Ottawa, you're allowed to sort of like enter public transportation to drive as long as you've had that negative COVID result from your test that you've taken on arrival in Canada. It then states here that the travelers who do not meet the new quarantine requirements may be subject to fines. So if you don't follow these rules, you might be subject to fines, pretty much. This has been a super short to the point update in terms of with regard to the requirements for traveling to Canada. I really hope it's been super useful. Don't forget to watch the initial video I created, because this video is an extension of that video, so that you make sure that you have all the requirements right in your mind and you execute it properly. I really hope this video has been super useful. If you have requirements or thoughts around other content that I can create that can be of value to you, feel free as always to drop a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're growing this amazing community. Thank you for your support. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.